What's up, my ghouls? To another Gen Star video. It's Jen here. Today we're going to be talking about everything that's been coming out about the live action Monster High. So stay tuned. So many people had complaints when the teaser, trailer, promo photos came out, and I was just scrolling through the TikTok hashtag to see people's opinions, and I was just glad that I wasn't alone with how I was feeling about it. So please don't think that I'm being too harsh for any of the opinions that I say in this video, because there's a community out there feeling the exact same way. There will be timestamps in the description or the comments, so skip around to any section you want to hear about. So one thing that's been going around ever since the cast was released was how most of the actors didn't match the characters that they were going to play. The Claudine actress is light-skinned, Draculaura is Asian and not Romanian, Laguna doesn't have an Australian accent, but a Latina accent as the actress is Latina. Cleo actress is a white Latina and not Egyptian. The headmistress is black and not white. Abby is from Nepal, and many believe she should be South Asian or South Asian Russian. Though I don't entirely like how Deuce and Heath look, they are the only ones who look like their counterparts or like close to who they're playing. There's some who have no problem with this and some who have a problem with one or more. But with casting alone, these aren't looking like the ghouls, and this is not good for the project. Seeing how the actors act in the teaser, trailers, and the many leaks that has been going around, they aren't giving off the vibes from their animated counterparts. Back when the teaser came out, if I just listened to the audio, I don't know if I would have been able to identify who is who. Obviously, if you took out any keywords, that would make it obvious.
I've been living my whole life in hiding. Maybe I'll have better luck in the monster world.
Like, where were their accents? I know people were having complaints about Draculaura being played by someone who is Asian and not Romanian. So that could be why she doesn't have an accent. But what about everyone else? When I hear live action Claudine, I'm not getting animated Claudine.
Who's this nice little doggy? Who you calling little?
I think I need to talk to Spectra. Don't even think about it.
I know people are going to say, well, that's the point. One is animated, the other is live action. Of course, I know that there are going to be changes, and maybe people don't have to be this upset, but the movie isn't even out yet, and there have been way too many misses. Now that we established the cast and characters, let's take a look at the teasers, trailers, some leaks. I won't be going into too much of the leaks as I haven't seen them, because I want to be surprised when I eventually watch the movie, and I'm going to assume that you guys are probably in the same. But it is crazy how much is being leaked months in advance. I'll be scrolling through TikTok and quickly having to swipe away when I see a leak. There's just so much of it. Anyways, when I get into the teasers, trailers, and leaks, I'll be talking about other changes made to the characters, such as personality, character traits, story, and more. So the Monster High story is that Claudine is the new girl in school instead of Frankie and is a werewolf, half wolf and human. Because she is part human, it's throwing the school or the monster universe off balance. And if they don't find out who the human is, then, bad things will happen. In the teaser, we see each character saying a bit about themselves so we can see what they'll be like in the movie. Going back to what I said earlier, this is where I noticed that the characters didn't feel like themselves. If we were to take out certain lingo that made it obvious who was speaking, or everyone were to say the same thing, then I don't think it would be, easy to know who's who. Continuing with Draculaura's introduction, we find out that she is a witch. Not entirely sure why they decided to do that. And when she says this line,
Everyone says witchcraft's a filthy human habit, but I love it.
It's like there isn't witchcraft and witches established in the monster world. Sticking with Draculaura, in the trailer, you can see how they made her character, more than we're used to.
Never knock on a closed coffin. Please tell me he's not gonna sing.
Have you ever heard the story of dear old Mr. Hyde?
And he's singing.
Here he comes. Is my makeup all right? I'm gonna make your first meeting really memorable. Whoa!
You look horrible. I like that in a girl.
Thanks, Cleo.
Like, where's the sweet, at times naive vampire that we know? And correct me if I'm wrong, but did she ever have a thing about being in the sun in the original movies or webisodes? Because it makes sense compared to other vampire characters in media, but I don't remember that being a thing in Monster High. In this version, Frankie is non-binary and makes sense to me as they are made of various body parts. But some don't get how Frankie knows that they're non-binary but doesn't know what a high five is. It can be explained in the movie, but I can see that when they were created, that's one of the things that they were told. A high five or other common things probably weren't told to her, as it might have seemed insignificant. They were told who they were, how to talk and read, so they can blend into society more. Moving on, Laguna and Cleo are friends. Abby is an influencer, which the old Abby wouldn't do, some say. And Gulia can talk, which we see in a leak, and then we hear her scream normally in the trailer.
How are we supposed to find our dorm room? Did it email us something? Or you don't find your room. Your room finds you.
Another major thing is Claudine and Deuce will have a possible relationship. Who knows if it will last, cause Cleo and Deuce might get back together in the end. I'm wondering if they're going to do a Frankie and Deuce when Frankie was new and kind of liked Deuce before knowing it was Cleo's boyfriend and Cleo was jealous. Either way, many are not happy with it. Claudine and Deuce were my favorite characters, so I wasn't mad about it when I found out that they will possibly have a relationship. I mean, I thought it was a bit weird because that's never happened in any of the other medias, but I wasn't mad about it. But during this whole little research and just combing through comments and things like that, I have found out that Claudine is canon to be lesbian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do vaguely remember seeing something that the creator had posted on Instagram saying how he was happy or fine with people having headcanons for certain characters and liking the headcanons that people came up with for Claudine. But I couldn't find anything concrete about it being canon. And I don't recall any medium where she was a lesbian in the movies or webisodes, since if she was depicted to have some type of relationship, it has only been with boys. But let me know where to find this information. Put it in the comments down below. I haven't read the book, so it could possibly have been in the books. Anyways, they could still make Claudine gay and just don't show it in the movie, or if they plan to make more movies, they could show it in there. Another leak we saw with the girls and Frankie was around a pot or a cauldron singing a song, and people couldn't help but compare it to Descendants Rotten to the Core. Not just that, but nearly everything that's been coming out is being compared to Descendants. I knew it was bound to happen, but people think of the upcoming live action to be too childish. However, the movie isn't only being compared to Descendants, but Riverdale as well. When the promotional pictures came out, people were comparing who was who in the Riverdale cast. Cleo was Veronica, Claudine was Josie, Deuce was Jughead, etc.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
I literally screamed when I saw the leak of Laguna screaming or screeching. I knew that it wasn't finished, but why is she even doing that? It didn't even look that good when the trailer dropped and you actually saw that clip. And where are Deuce's snakes? Just looking at the trailer, you can see that they probably didn't have a good budget, but I hope most of the money does go into making the CGI look good, because the money clearly did not go to the outfits. We saw it with the Winx, now with Monster High. Is it that hard to put the characters in their original outfits? Like, Frankie's is close to their original, but it doesn't look good, nor does Draculaura or Claudine's. I mean, Monster High wasn't Bratz, the passion for fashion, but these girls knew how to dress. There were some misses in my opinion, But there were at least a few outfits that you wanted to wear. I don't want to wear any of these. When people saw the outfits, they kept on saying how they should have just went to Party City and got one of the Monster High costumes. I mean, those could have been used. Though most of the outfits aren't good, they do look similar to the original. But with Laguna, she is in a whole new fit. Instead of her typical blue, she has this pink tie-dye outfit. I got a mermaid vibe from her. Frankie doesn't have her boats on her neck like they did before, but has earrings. They're also blue and not green. Draculaura's hair color is split down the middle. Claudine has glasses on, which I don't know how that works considering her ears are on top. Deuce has these clear glasses now. Like, I don't know how that works, considering that the whole point of his character of having the glasses, because he's Medusa's son. In our second channel, Star did a redesign, so please go check that out. But like my Fate review, I will be putting some outfit inspirations that I would have loved to see, especially if they wanted to kind of go off from the original, but still you want to keep that vibe of the original. If you watched my Monster High video from a couple of months ago, you will remember me saying how there was supposed to be a Monster High movie in 2013. So for fun, I was trying to figure out who would play who using the stars from back then. Knowing what I know about some characters' ethnicities, I wanted to make the casting true to those characters, so there are some that are left blank as I couldn't find actors from around 2013 that I would have cast. But please put down your suggestions below. Now, these are some actresses and actors who I can see being in a Monster High movie, but I just don't know who they would play. After all of this, I found out this version of Monster High takes place in another universe, so that's why there's so many changes. Still, knowing that, it's hard not to compare the two when Monster High has been around for years. I grew up with the brand from elementary school, and now as a teen in college, I still love the brand. And I find comfort knowing that it's a different Monster High because certain things just don't sit right with me. And maybe since people know that they're not supposed to be the same, people won't have such a distaste for it. Besides the casting, they didn't need to get white actors to play POCs or get light skins and darken their skin tone in order to play dark skin, brown skin characters. I just want to get into the Dolls and animated show real quick, as that is also what's going to be new. Both styles look to be based off the new live action. A trend you saw with the first reboot is how the characters' designs get stripped down and made cuter. Once again, the ghouls that we once knew are no more. Either way, the songs better slap, because I did not like the reboot songs from the animated movies. I mean, there were some that were good, but overall, I didn't really like them. The song that you hear in the teaser sounds good, but that Fright song remake that they did does not sound good to me at all. So hopefully that's the only miss when it comes to the music. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this week's video. And, sorry. The video's over. Something's trying to get into the screen. Wait! Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you think about all of this. Are you going to watch the movie? What would you change if you could? Or does none or some of the changes bother you? And lastly, to reminisce, who is your favorite character and what is your favorite Monster High movie or webisode? For me, my favorite characters were Claudine and Rebecca Steam, and my favorite movies were Ghouls Rule and Friday Night Frights. For Star, her favorite characters are Draculaura and Claudine, and her favorite movies are 13 Wishes, then Fright's Camera Actions. I was Jen. This has been Jen Star. Stay hopeful. Peace.